Hello, I'm Michael Diamond, and you're watching Muscle Central. Okay, the 2020 Honor Classic Ohio has come and gone. What I'm going to talk about in this video is Big Ramy. Now, I'm sure everybody knows by now that Big Ramy placed third. My personal opinion, I think he should have placed fourth behind Steve Kuklo, but the judges saw it differently. Now, my question is, what happens with Ramy now? Uh, Leading up to the show, there was a lot of hype around him. He hasn't competed in a year and a half. It's his first time on stage in all that time. And once again, the Ramy hype train was on the tracks and rolling. Many people were picking him or hoping for him to win. Now, there's always a question about his conditioning. Uh, Now, we didn't see many pictures of. In the last few weeks before the show, we didn't see any physique pictures of him. Uh, Before that, we did, and he looked pretty good. But he's always looked good in pics leading up to the show. But the last few weeks before the show, his training videos that he was putting up on YouTube, he was totally covered, and you couldn't get an idea of what type of conditioning that he was carrying at the time. Now, we did see a picture about a week or so before the show, with his face where it had that so-called death face, where the face is sunken in, cheekbones protruding, which is a pretty good indication of the kind of conditioning that the bodybuilder is going to be in. So now we're like, oh boy, looks like Ramy might be doing it this time. Then, just before the show, I think 2 or 3 days before the show, we find out he's working with Chad Nichols. Now, I'm sure if you're a bodybuilding fan, if you've been following bodybuilding, you know who Chad Nichols is. He's worked with some of the best. Ronnie Coleman, Nasser Sabate, Flex Wheeler, nothing else. Uh, he's known to bring the bodybuilder in to the show in condition. So now, with those pictures of the so-called death phase, I'm finding out he's been working with Chad Nichols in preparation for the show. Oh boy, we're going to have the Ramy we've been waiting for. Well, it didn't quite pan out like that. Uh, his conditioning wasn't what we expected and what we wanted it to be. Now, I'm not saying he wasn't in condition. His conditioning was bad. He might have had his best conditioning to date. But that being said, his best conditioning to date, that's wasn't a lot much better than his previous best conditioning. So it wasn't enough to win. Now, I in previous videos I've questioned what it is that's holding Ramy back from hitting his conditioning. Is it something in his training, diet, what's done the last few hours before you go on stage, or is it something merely psychological? Now, uh, some people don't realize that the mind is a very powerful thing, and it can fuck up a physique. Uh, it's happened before, and it's a very real possibility. And I've been questioning whether his what's holding him back is purely psychological. If that's the case, uh, would this loss really screw him up mentally? Yes, it's a loss. He placed third, which is good placing, but in bodybuilding, you don't place first. Actually, any sport, you don't place first, you're still a loser. You lost. Uh, was this loss gonna do to him on a psychological level? Now, I'm sure he was hoping for a win, or expecting a win, and expecting to go to the Olympia. He can't go to the Olympia. He has to qualify. He won't get any special invite. He needs to win a show. I believe he's slated to compete in the Arnold Australia coming up in just under 2 weeks. Now, two of the top four in this show are not going to be there. Bonac and Kukla. He still has Dexter to contend with. Dexter looked damn good. And you could have made an argument for him taking first in this show. I don't know if Chad and Ramy can fix what went wrong for this show. That's under the assumption that he was there a couple days out and some mistakes were made just before the show. Can't blame, if that was the case, you can't blame Chad, because I'm sure he didn't hit it on a nail the first time out with Ronnie, Nasser, and Flex. You have to learn the athlete's body. Is there enough time for them to figure it out and correct what went wrong and really bring him in to this show where he can pull off a win? If he can't win this show, 2 losses back to back, if his issues are not physical, not with his training or his diet, but what's holding him back is psychological, 2 losses back to back, what's that going to do to his psyche? I really don't know what's going to happen with him. I'm very curious to see how it goes for him in the Arnold Classic Australia. My personal opinion, if he does not win this show also, I question whether he's going to be able to rebound on a psychological level. And he'll just end up being one of those guys who should have but never did. Let's see what happens now. Also, you got to wonder, let's say he doesn't win the show. He regroups on a mental level, is he going to switch coaches again? He's jumped around from coach to coach more than anybody I know. I don't know. Let's see what happens now. I'm not going to make any opinions on where he's going to go from here. I'm going to wait to see what happens in Australia, see what goes on, and I'll make another video discussing it. My opinion on the future of Ramy from that point on. Okay, if you agree or disagree with the things I've said in this video, please let me know in the comment section. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Please share and by all means subscribe. Do not forget to hit that notification bell. This way, every time I put up a new video, you will be notified. Once again, this is Michael Diamond, and I'd like to thank you for watching Muscle Central.